drives change.
Time after time, there's something always up.
ẹja ló ní bú ọ̀kín lọ́ba ẹyẹ kìnìún lọ́ba ẹranko ọmọlúàbí 87.7 FM lórí òkè mọ́kọ́lá nílùú ìbàdàn láti ń dàbí ẹ̀dùn tá à ń rọ̀ bí òwe ọmọlúàbí FM àkàìndé gbẹ̀gbọ́n.
A wonderful Saturday morning to you, wherever it is you're listening to us from on Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. You are welcome to another edition of the program, The Discourse, right here on Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. My name is Oluwatayo Ajewole, and I'll be standing in for Stephen Adidigba, who is absent due to some reasons this morning. The Discourse is a program where we bring some national discourse to the front burner to dissect and discuss and talk about them, because we definitely need to talk about them. Yeah, we share insights, we share thoughts, and then you also get to share your own thoughts and insight as regards some of the things we'll be discussing in the studio this morning. It's an interesting week, and it's been an interesting week, especially in Rivers State. It's been an interesting week, and then there's, as we speak currently, there's palpable tension in Rivers State. A lot of things are going on in Rivers State, and then many are asking the question, why is Rivers different? What is going on in Rivers? What exactly do you think is going on in Rivers State as we speak? We'll be talking more. We'll be highlighting some of the issues surrounding the local government elections in Rivers State as it unfolds this morning. Yeah, and definitely we'll be talking about politics and power play and the legal implication of some of the things going on in Rivers State as we speak. What makes Rivers State different from other states? Other states have been holding local government elections in the past few months, and then we've not had crisis about local government elections going on in those states. But then in Rivers, as we speak, there's tension. Many people are asking the question, why is the Rivers State different from every other state? We'll be checking that this morning. All right, like I said, we're going to be looking at all of this, and I won't be doing it alone. I have with me in the studio Professor Wole Akinyemi. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning, Tayo. Good morning to our listeners. Happy weekend to you all.
All right, before we move on, let's get some background information to what we'll be discussing this morning. The tension in Rivers State is much as the camps of Governor Similari Fubara and the Federal Capital Territory FCT Abuja Minister Chief Nyesom Wike are locked in the fight to finish in the battle for the control of the political structure of the grassroots. As of press time, how the exercise will pan out in Rivers was difficult to tell, following confusing and conflicting signals from many quarters. For instance, why the National Working Committee (NWC) in the People's Democratic Party (PDP) is in support and wants its members to take part in the elections. It's Rivers State chapter, which is loyal to Wike, urged residents and party members to shun the exercise. The police, citing court orders, have said they would not provide security services in Rivers and urge other security agencies to do the same. However, Governor Fubara, who accused the police of bias, said the election would be held in Rivers State and would be held in Rivers State. Independent Electoral Commission, RISEC, and saying, regardless of the court order, it would go ahead with the conduct of the exercise. This was as the Action People's Party, APP, disowned the faction group, claiming to be party's authentic leadership in Rivers and backed RESEC's decision to go ahead with the poll. Interesting one there. Yesterday, very early in the morning, around 1 a.m., the governor of Rivers State, Simi Fubara, stormed the RESEC, that's the Electoral Commission in Rivers State, and he has something to say. He accused the police of trying to make sure that the election doesn't hold in Rivers State. We'll be listening to Fubara this morning, what he has to say. Fubara is hot and is spilling hot at this time. Let's listen to what the governor has to say at this time. Let's listen has to say. Facebook is live.
We came here this morning when we heard that according to what they call themselves, Nigerian police, are coming to take over the premises of Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission. And I had to come myself to find out why would such a thing happen. From what I heard, that is it DC operation brought them here to withdraw the policemen that are already here protecting this place, so that new officers will take over the place. But I have to say this on a very strong note. We've been taking enough nonsense from this institution. Everybody is aware of the court judgment, and even the judgment as they call it, the ruling. Did the ruling specify anywhere that the election should not hold? He said, don't give voters register. What are we doing with it? Okay, police, don't provide security. Don't provide security. Is this the same thing as blocking the election? I don't know what the relationship between Inspector General of Police and one person who claims he has so much power in this state. I don't know the relationship, because it's beginning to go beyond the normal professional relationship. I said the government wrote a letter with the judgment that we have to him, and what he's acting on is what he called the federal government, the judgment he got from the Federal High Court. Even at that, if we should go by that, the judgment in the Federal High Court, did he say election should be bad? Lifu, that justice that gave that fraudulent judgment, did he say no election? Rather, it technically said, don't provide. We don't need your security. We will provide our own security. After all, it happened in Anambra. Go and work with your security. But this election must hold. If you like whatever it is you want to do, do it. The election result will be declared. People will be sworn in. I say it here. What kind of a country is it? And when it comes to the issue of Rivers State, it becomes different. You're not ashamed of yourself. You call yourself Inspector General of Police.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. I will be here. In fact, if I go back and I hear anybody, I will come here. This is my property. And you don't have any power whatsoever to bar me from entering it. Yes. Just try it. That part of your history as a very wicked and fraudulent Inspector General of Police will include shooting Fubara. Yes. I think I've given you enough respect. Well, let me say it to all Rivers indigents. Everyone residing in Rivers State, election will hold. Yes. Yes. Election will hold. Yes. Anything that wants to happen, let it happen.
We are here. Other states did, yes. We are here.
I don't understand.
I'm not going anywhere. know they fear anybody.
All other states did there. So everybody just relax. Nothing is happening.
Nothing, no.
We are ready. If we know that this is going to be the last fight, and we will take it to the end.
All right, you hear the governor of Rivers State there, Simi Fubara, saying election must hold. And these people are saying we know they fear anybody. Those are the Rivers people there saying election must hold today. Local government election must hold. And the governor also pointed some pointed accusing fingers at the police. As a matter of fact, he named the Inspector General of Police, saying he can't stop election from holding in Rivers State, saying they heard about the court orders. And the court orders did not tell them to stop election. The court orders only say they shouldn't provide security, and it's saying they eventually will not need the police security at this time. I said that wasn't enough. That same yesterday, we could see some residents of Rivers State at the Rivers State Electoral Commission protesting and shouting and chanting, election must hold, election must hold. And people are asking the question, who is stopping election from holding in Rivers State? Let's take a good listen to the people of Rivers State at the front of the Rivers Electoral Commission. All right, that's the people of Rivers State shouting and chanting there, saying election must hold. And there's been various discussions and conversation regarding the elections in Rivers State. One of those who has spoken as regards the issue of election in Rivers State is Onoize Okocha. He is a senior advocate of Nigeria and a statesman in Rivers State. He's another statesman in Rivers State. He's saying the way forward is for the State Independent Electoral Commission and Governor of Rivers State, represented by the Attorney General of Rivers State, to obey the order of the court. What is the order of the court? Many are saying probably the order of the court is kind of ambiguous at this time, because there's no clear order saying election shouldn't hold today in Rivers State. All they said is they shouldn't release the registration register, voters register to the Rivers State Electoral Commission. And then it's also saying security should not be provided. Many people are asking the question, what's going on exactly? Let's take a good listen to the senior advocate of Nigeria, Onoize Okocha, on his own perspective as regards the issue of election in Rivers State today.
It's for the State Independent National Electoral Commission, the Governor of Rivers State, represented by the Attorney General of Rivers State, to obey the order of the courts. All others have agreed to obey. INEC has said we've not given them register. We will not give them in compliance with the rule of with the order of the courts. The Inspector General of Police, speaking through the police spokesman in Rivers State here, has said we will obey the order of the courts and will not provide security for the election. And you know, if you don't provide security for election, there is bound to be problems. In every likelihood, people will go amok, run amok, take the law into their own hands. What we want is peace. What does the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission lose by going back to the drawing boards to start the process all over again and ensure that it is properly done in accordance with the law in place? So this is my take on it. People are hitting up equality for no just cause whatsoever and calling people's names up and down. You know, and then you hear them say one man. Who is that one man they are referring to?
All right, that was Onoize Okocha saying there, the governor of Rivers State and the Independent Electoral Commission in Rivers State should obey court order by making sure that the election did not hold today. But then someone has a contrary opinion, and that's the person of the rights activist Jake Ekpele. Is saying personal interest is above the interest of Rivers State, and is asking why shouldn't the election hold in the first instance? After all, it's a democratic society. All other states have held their own election in time past. Why is it that it is difficult for election to hold in Rivers State. And let us take a good listen to Jake Ekwele this morning.
Why is it that election cannot hold in Rivers State? One, personal interest. Personal interest above the interest of Rivers State. These were the same group of people that were questioning why election shouldn't hold. Why is it that there will be caretaker committee? The same group of people are turning around to say election shouldn't hold. Who would you describe viewers as enemies of democracy? Anybody that is trying to stop this process.
All right, that was Jake Ekwele saying why would we not conduct election in Rivers State? Saying anybody that is trying to stop the election from holding in Rivers State is the enemy of the people. All right, like I said earlier, I'm being joined by Professor Wole Akinyemi. I will be looking at all of this drama and all of the power play, power for the fight for dominance and the legal implication of the local government election in Rivers State. Professor Wole Akinyemi, you heard everything. You heard reactions from various quarters. You heard the governor spitting fire. The people also say they want the election to hold. But then it seems it's a fight between two powers. And then someone will definitely bow for the other. Who is going to bow for the other one this morning or today, or probably later today? Should the election hold in Rivers State? Or why shouldn't the election hold in Rivers State, Professor Wole Akinyemi?
Thank you very much, Tayo. Let's do a brief historical excursion. People don't learn from history because history keeps repeating itself because people don't learn from history. What is playing out in Rivers State is actually what played out in the whole western region between late Chief Obafemi Awolowo and late Chief SLA Akintola. Awolowo was premier of western region, but in the second term, he said his deputy should assume the leadership, so he became premier, Akintola, and Awolowo went to Lagos. Lagos was the seat of the federal government at that time as leader of opposition. No sooner he moved, Akintola felt that he needed to be in the mainstream politics of Nigeria, so I aligned with Tafawa Balewa, the MPC, which was the national government at that time. And those people now brought their power, their influence so much on western region and it precipitated the crisis because, forget it, the people of western region had affinity and loyalty with Chief Obafemi Awolowo, and they just felt that Akintola was just continuing that tradition. And that was what precipitated the wealth here. Those people that are of my own generation will probably remember what I'm talking about. And it was the wealth here that led eventually to the Civil War. So many people were killed and the army took over and then to the Civil War. So what I'm trying therefore is that when you start this kind of crisis, you can never tell where it will end to. Individuals will be fighting, people that are full of egos will be fighting on personal interest, forgetting the national or the state interest. At the end of the exercise, so many lives will be lost. Just like it happened in the western region. I hope the actors that are here now, some of them will learn relevant lessons of what happened, because it has happened before and it can happen again. It was the western region at that time, now it is Rivers State. And who are the two principalities that have played the role of Awolowo and Akintola today? Wike and Fubara. The only difference now is that Wike is now with the federal government. It's like a reverse of the situation. So the federal government power is now being used to embarrass the government of Fubara. I mean, let us be very honest. Why was it possible to organize elections, local government elections in other states, and then when it comes to the issue of a Rivers State, there is now a spurious, because I call it spurious, legal declaration. Because if you look at that legal pronouncement, you will see that it is fraught with a lot of confusion and it is deliberate. The pronouncement has not said that they should not hold the elections, but said they should not provide security. So what's the implication of that? That is, go ahead and organize an election that can result to chaos. Because that is a provision for anarchy. And it is most unfortunate that even such a pronouncement can come from the judiciary at this particular moment. And it is, the Inspector General of Police and the other government agencies, they have to obey the law. So calling the name, calling the Inspector General of Police names now does not solve that problem. There is a legal provision which they are trying to follow. So I put the blame strictly at the foot of the leadership of government. I would have expected Mr. President to step into this kind of a situation. He's an experienced politician.
You talk about Mr. President, Prof.
Yes.
Currently, as we speak, the president is not in the country, and many are saying this is a game. This is a gimmick.
Mr. President does not have to be in the country for certain things to be done. That is why they call presidency. You know, there are people who can act on behalf of Mr. President. Definitely will have said this thing. It's not. Is it today that they are planning for the election of Rivers State? No, it's not today. Let me tell you what is playing out. What is playing out is that Wike is beginning to lose the hold on the people on the power structure of Rivers State.
But there was a grand entry for Wike in Rivers State during the past week. And many were saying, "Oh, Wike is back. He's a strong man."
Forget about all of that. Forget about all of that. You don't forget that the same set of people that laid out the cloth and leaves and everything for Jesus Christ, they are the same people the next day that are saying crucify him. And the same thing is still playing out today. So when you see crowd, the crowd does not really determine the support of people. The same people are so feeble-minded. Today they are saying Hosanna, tomorrow they are saying crucify him, and that is the thing about people. But from what is playing out right now, who is scared of Rivers State holding an election? I mean, let's look at it. They wanted to impeach Fubara. Up to today, they've not been able to impeach him. They said Fubara cannot have caretaker chairman. He had caretaker chairman. Heaven did not fall. They said Fubara cannot do so many things in Rivers State. He kept on doing it. They said Fubara does not hold the structure of the Rivers State. Meanwhile, the major political actors in Rivers State, they are not lining up behind Fubara.
But man, we saw some of them too with Wike when Wike stormed Rivers State.
And that is the thing about politicians. In the afternoon, you will see them. At night, you see them in a different place. You can never predict them. Make no mistake about it. Some of them, they are playing a waiting game. They are sitting on the fence as it were. And it's a very, very dangerous thing because that fence can actually collapse. Because they don't know whether Fubara will be impeached and another Wike puppet will be installed. They are not sure. So they are saying that, okay, if you don't let us support a Wike too much and don't let us support Fubara, let us just remain in the middle. Make no mistake about it. The moment somebody is sworn in as the governor of a state, that person has tremendous power.
This is a fight to finish. Do you think Fubara can win?
I see Fubara winning because the only team backup Wike has now is the federal government. If the federal government will do what is right and what is judicious at this matter, I see Fubara outwitting Wike in this game. But let me tell you this.
Okay.
The two of them, whether Fubara or Wike, these people are not fighting in the interest of the people of Rivers State. These people are fighting for their pocket. And
talking about fighting for their pocket,
because there is no governance in Rivers State now. What you have is politics.
Talking about fighting for their pocket, many said, why will you bite the finger that feeds you? And as a matter of fact, some few weeks ago, Wike granted an interview and saying he doesn't want to have anything to do whatsoever with Fubara again in his life. And many are saying, is it about the two of you or is it about the people of Rivers State?
What finger are we talking about? Leprous finger, because there's somebody that is feeding you and he knows that he has set a trap for you. You know, for how long will Fubara be at that place and then he will be a puppet and the Wike will be the one that is the de facto governor of Rivers State when he's also already the Federal Capital Territory chair, minister. Some of these people have been very, very unfair. Let us reverse the situation. Will Wike take that kind of a thing? Did he take it from Michi? He did not. When Wike was at the helm of affairs in Rivers State, he controlled, he took over the entire place. There was no room for this kind of shenanigan. So he should let Fubara breathe. If he knew that he was not going to give him the opportunity to be the governor, then he shouldn't have sworn in him to be governor in the first place. I mean, the kind of thing that is playing out in Wike now, I mean, look at the kind of embarrassment that is happening in Kogi State. Where somebody put his studio again as governor, and the governor left governance and they had to be following his predecessor to the offices of the CFCC. Is that why they elected him to be governor of Kogi State?
Prof, let's move on now. The presidency has been silent on this matter. After the time the presidency called them together and they had a peace pact and the likes like that, and they gave them they came up with some resolutions and they asked some of them for some parties to go this way. And so, you've not heard the presidency talking about the issue in Rivers State. There's been chaos in Rivers State. Don't you think the silence of the presidency is golden at this time?
The silence of the presidency means complicity, whether you like it or not, because they are very, very powerful. And whatever Mr. President says is a respected statesman, is an experienced politician. You cannot say that you do not know where all of these things will be leading to. I would have expected him to take a decisive action based on national interest. All of these gladiators, they will come and go, Rivers State will remain.
All right, so let's talk about the people of Rivers State. There have been some factions in Rivers State. So we had in time past Chief Edwin Clark coming up to talk about the issue of Rivers State, saying they must check Wike, saying Wike cannot be the two governors of two states. And then many people are saying, what does Wike want again? You were eight-time governor. You were governor for 80 years in Rivers State, 2 times governor, and then you became once a minister for education under the Jonathan administration. And right as to speak now, you are the current FCT minister. What does Wike want again, Prof?
That is what I'm saying. The personality of the individual is very, very critical in all of these things we are talking about. Some people also put Wike there. He didn't become governor of Rivers State overnight. Peter Odili, Dr. Peter Odili, is one of the people that played the game and then assisted him. Whether you like it or not, Amechi. After all, this Wike was a personal assistant to Amechi at the time. So, and if somebody is now saying that somebody is biting the fingers that fed him, didn't he bite the finger even up to the knuckles of Amechi? So, and you know, there is something called karma. No, it does not forget. It has an uncanny memory. So it has come back to haunt Wike. So Wike cannot say that, yes, I want to be a colossus with one leg in Rivers State, another leg in Abuja. It's not desirable. It's not what we require at this particular moment. It is not in the national interest. There is no way in which it can be in the national interest. And for you to know that it goes beyond just Rivers State, it's the personality of the person called Wike. It now is neither in PDP or APC, and he has scattered everything about PDP. I mean, and you find it that very, very difficult for PDP to even discipline this man. So definitely something wrong about the person of Wike.
We saw the G5 governors with Wike recently, and we even heard some of them saying, don't put fire in our state, because he threatened to put fire in the states of some of the governors.
But not because they know what he's capable of doing.
Is Wike that strong?
They know he has no scruples. Do you understand what I'm saying to you now? You know, when some of these people have this filthy, I call it, money, and it's public money, make no mistake about it. I mean, some 10 years ago, what was the financial status of Wike? Where did he get all of that money with which he said throwing spanners in every way and everything? You see, let me tell you where Wike actually got his power from. He got that power because when APC took over the reins of governance from PDP after the 16 years of irresponsible governance, as far as I'm concerned, all the structures of PDP at the federal level were collapsing, and it was Wike that used the money of Rivers State to sustain PDP. And that was why Wike was able to frustrate the political ambition of Elijah Atiku Abubakar. Because he held the reins of structure of PDP at that particular moment. And he's still holding it, whether you like it or not. And make no mistake about it, our politics is a politics of belly. It's a politics of stomach infrastructure. So some people within APC, within the PDP, they are also the people that are giving Wike all the intelligence he needs to frustrate. I mean, look at the way Damagon is a Wike person. Now they are frustrating Damagon to act very well, and they are now persuading some people to come back and become the chairman of PDP. So this will tell you the kind of politics that you are playing in this country. Politics that is considered politicians more than Nigerians. All of these people are there to feather their nets, and it is Nigerians that must rise up to reject in its totality this kind of shenanigan. It is not sustainable. It's not in the national interest.
It seems Wike has held up the PDP into ransom as we speak at this time. Do we still have the PDP, so to speak?
Let me tell you what is going to happen. Wike is dealing with experienced politicians, probably people that are more experienced than himself. And it's just being used for a particular purpose. When he gets to that, at the end of that purpose, they know how to deal with him. Those same power that are supporting him now.
What do you think is the way forward for Fubara as we speak?
The way forward for Fubara, I've said it so many months back, that Fubara should join the APC. With that, he will be able to sweep the carpet off the feet of Wike.
Let's talk about the judiciary, Prof. The judiciary has always been in the news when it comes to issues like this. We've heard the judiciary bringing up giving ambiguous judgments, just like the one they did. It wasn't pronounced actually in the judgment that elections should not hold in Rivers State. But then why should you say the police force shouldn't provide security for elections in Rivers State? Many people are also saying, just last week, the new Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kekere, came on board and said she won't take all of this, all of the ways the judiciary have been doing before. That's a new era. And many are asking the question, can we just revitalize and then re-strategize and restructure the judiciary in Nigeria? Because it seems the judiciary has caused more problem to the Nigerian society than even the politicians.
Because the judiciary is in the pocket of the executive. That is the truth. You know, we need to really restructure so many things. There's so much power reposed in the president of whoever that becomes the president of Nigeria. And make no mistake about it, whether it was Kayode Ariola that resigned or Kekere Ekun that is there now, all of these people, they had a long-standing relationship with our current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And whether you like it or not, there is no way in which relationship will not affect the way you deal with things. So what is playing out right now is that judiciary can make pronouncements that will be illegal but may not be morally right.
Interesting one. You two can join the conversation this morning. The studio lines are open at 07047 47007999 07047007999. Can also call us on 08053888933 08053888933. You can drop your comment on Facebook too. We are live on Facebook this morning at omoluwabi 87.7 FM. Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. That's the Facebook handle. Drop your comments this morning. We want to hear from you. What are your takes? What are your opinions as regards some of the things we've discussed on the program this morning? But then before we pick calls or before we read comments on Facebook, we need to pay some bills at this time. And when we come back, we take your calls and we drop your comments and your thoughts as regards the issue we are discussing this morning. Do not go anywhere. This is still the discourse on Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. We'll be back after this short timeout.
Fresh news, best talk, hot music, where else?
Omoluwabi 87.7 FM.
At break time, when my champ needs to keep going, he's going to need his favorite snack, made with the goodness of malt, milk, cocoa, and crunchy Niger-grown maize, containing calcium, iron, and fiber.
Break time is crunch time. So give your champs this delicious crunchy delight to keep them winning all day. Milo and a snacks. Snack of future champions. Milo!
Oh no, these service providers. The other time my data disappeared. Last week my money was deducted when I didn't make a call. The other time...
Wait. Have you called NCC on 622?
To do what?
NCC 622 is the toll-free complaint line where phone users can lodge any complaints concerning their lines.
So, if they debit me for calls I did not make,
call 622.
If they charge me higher than normal,
call 622.
And if they...
For any issues that concerns your phone, call 622. But before you call NCC on 622, you must first call your service provider. It is only when they don't resolve your complaints, then you call 622. 622 line is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day, excluding weekends and public holidays. Calling 622 is free. Take advantage of 622 to resolve your phone complaints. NCC, connecting Nigeria.
I will show you. Don't do that.
Sweetheart, no matter what you do, we show you love. So you can show more love to everyone.
Mom, how do you show more love to everyone? I will show you Love.
Show some more love today with 4 more packs of your favorite Indomie noodles in Indomitable and Super Pack cartons. Also, each Indomitable pack is now 200 naira, while Super Pack is now 350 naira. So hurry now. Offer valid till stock lasts.
Hello?
Hello there. I'm at the hospital right now because the kills are seriously ill. I've been on a long queue and the doctor is here to attend to me. I don't know what to do again.
You know what? How about the numbers I gave you while leaving?
Oh, the e-doctor numbers?
Yes.
Call them right away. They will attend to you immediately.
Hello?
Darling, just like magic. Junior is playing. Even Princess is eating like an adult.
You know I've told you to calm down. Our family is covered with e-doctor premium plan. With eDoctor, you have access to healthcare at your fingertips. Stop wasting your productive hours while waiting in the clinic for doctor. Subscribe today to any of eDoctor plans and enjoy online chat and call consult, laser therapy, medical outreach, and home care services. Simply dial 0704-714-2000 or 0701-000-8670. Log on to www.edoctor.com or visit us at eDoctor, number 2 Ocean Street, New Bodija, Ibadan. eDoctor, inspiring wellness.
My brother, you said like as you get suffer. My fellow country people, I just come for you and I. Before you choke up, just
Life no suppose am like this, and that's now why millions of Nigerians they pay for everything with Momo. Dial *671# or download the new Momo app, make you follow enjoy this better life.
Fresh news, best talk, hot music, where else?
Omoluwabi 87.7 FM.
All right, you're welcome back. It's still the discourse right here on Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. And just before we went on the break, I told you that we'll be picking your calls and reading your comments on Facebook. So the studio lines are open on the Facebook. Hey, stay there to drop your comments. All right, you can call us on 07047007999. 07047007999. You can also call us on 08053888933. 08053888933. All right, let's see who is on Facebook here. We have some people on Facebook already. We have Ade Atobatele Oluwakayode. We can see you. Good morning to you. To Araniaya. Good morning to you. Abdul Razak Agbarere Abdulaziz. We can see you there too. Good morning. And then we have Adedamola Okonla saying beautiful morning to you. It is evidence that they do not want a local government election to hold. How can there be an election without police to secure the voters? Is it that they are trying to frustrate and kill people? Or their intention is to rig the election? Why is Wike trying to frustrate the government of Rivers? And then she goes further to say, to frustrate the government of Rivers State by not providing security for today's election. Okay, that's from Adedamola Okunolade. She has that to say. You too can join the conversation by dropping your comment on Facebook this morning at Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. Better still, you can call us. The studio lines are open 07047 007999 07047 007999. You can also call us on 08053888933 08053888933. Those are the studio lines to call to be a part of the program this morning. Okay, Prof, what do you think the outcome of today's local government election will be? Will it be a win for the people, or just considering all of the chaos in town, all of the tension in town, you think the election will eventually hold? And then do you think we wouldn't have to record any case of violence eventually?
You see, if at the end of the day they were able to hold the election in Rivers State, it will send very, very strong signal to the federal government and to the people of Nigeria that that Fubara actually owns Rivers State. Especially if the election held without any violence. Then it would then appear as if even the presence of the security people may probably have been what would have precipitated the violence. But if the election is not able to hold, then it will give Fubara's enemy opportunity to re-strategize and to plan, because I believe that they are just buying time. And the whole idea of buying time is to say, how can we make sure that we do not forfeit the structure of Rivers State to Fubara? But whether Wike likes it or not, it is something that is bound to happen. When you are governor of a state, you have tremendous power in your hands, because whether you like it or not, he has the power to dispense more favor in Rivers State now than Wike. To appoint people, to sack people, to give people contracts, to do all of those things. All those powers that made Wike who he was or who he is, those powers are now in the hands of Fubara. And so if he can use and deploy those powers very, very well, then Wike will not be a threat to him.
All right, away from Rivers State, let's come back to your state, and then as an extension, we'll check some other things in Nigeria too. At the Senate on Wednesday, summoned the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, over the deplorable state of the old Ogbomoso Road. More than 10 years after the federal government began major repairs on the road, it has remained deplorable, causing regular accidents and daily gridlock by articulated vehicles. Umahi is to appear before the Senate Committee of Works to explain what led to the abandonment of the vast portion of the road many years after the execution of the contract began. The committee has 3 weeks to submit a report to the Senate, the Red Chamber directed during the plenary in Abuja on Wednesday. Professor Wale Akiyemi, the Ogbomoso Road has been like that for a very long time, and then it causes a lot of gridlock every time. I don't know if people who know that road very well. But then the Senate has called on the Minister for Works to come explain what he knows about the deplorable state of that road. And it's not just about the Ogbomoso Road. It's about other roads in Nigeria. I've seen other roads that have been awarded, the contracts have been awarded and executed. Then, years after, the roads are still not motorable. Professor Wale Akiyemi, what's your take on this?
I know Ogbomoso, that Ogbomoso road. I know it very well. It's a road that I travel on regularly.
As a matter of fact, it's that road that links the north to the south.
I've had opportunity to even sleep overnight on that road because of traffic gridlock. So all these things we are talking about, if you travel on that road, for every 2 minutes, you must see a trailer pass by. And some of these trailers, articulated trucks, some of them, they carry goods. Some of them carry cattle, and some of them at times even lose their brake and they just run amok. And a whole lot of lives have been lost
on that road.
And I personally have been asking myself that why will federal government allow a road that is a major link between the west and the north in this deplorable state? More so when you get to Ogbomoso and after navigating the traffic within Ogbomoso town, then you get to Ilorin Road and the place is so smooth. Then you'll be asking yourself that why would they deliberately leave this portion for so long? So definitely it is a very, very unfortunate situation. It's a situation that we should not allow to persist. But I'm aware that as we speak, there is a new express that is being done that is bypassing Ogbomoso. That is, so federal government should expedite action on that and make sure that they quickly deliver that road. Is very, very important. I think what we really need to do in Nigeria is there a way in which we'll be building roads and then we'll leave a particular route for articulated trucks so that they will be built with special material that can carry their weight. That is one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is, do we want to invest in a railway so much that some of these goods that have been treated, carried by trailers are taken by through the rail? because it's cheaper, it's safer, and of course it will make our roads to last longer. Because it is actually these big trucks, heavy trucks that quickly wear our roads down. I'm not talking about Ogumosho alone. I'm even talking about it in relation to all the roads generally. Because for some selfish reasons, there are some people, call them cabals if you want, who really are frustrating the railway system from developing in Nigeria. Because they want to ferry their goods and services, oil, everything by trailers. Some of these things, if we say that country is changing and we want to join the international community in terms of development, we cannot continue to do the same things the same way and expect to continue to have the same reasons. Look at the kind of dirty communities that spring up anytime when these trailers decide to just have a small village. You have the called trailer parks. Slums on our major roads. So these are the things that we must change, because it's not good for the future of this country. It is not sustainable. It's not even environmental friendly, and it worsens our security, because some of these parks, as we call it, they are not properly policed, and a lot of despicable things happen in them.
All right, let's leave the Ogumosho rule and let's look at it from a very broader perspective. Now, we have a lot of routes, a lot of projects being abandoned in Nigeria as we speak, and many are asking, why is we've been somewhat entrenched in this kind of a culture of abandoning projects in Nigeria? And meanwhile, taxpayers' money will have been deployed to fix all of these projects. But then, years after, we know how long it took and how do we have to award the contract of the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road before it got to the state that it is at this time. Professor Wale Akin, what do you think can be done?
The one that I don't really understand is the lack of synergy between governments. You see a road that is passing through a state, and then you go and ask, they said, why is this road in this deplorable state? And then somebody comes and tells you that it's a federal government road. I think that kind of excuse is no longer tenable, because whether you like it or not, it's the people of your state who voted you to power that navigate that road on a daily basis. So I think government should look at a way in which state government can repair roads that are very, very strategic to them, and they make sure that they pay them whatever they are spent in the repair of that road. What Nigerians are interested in is not whether it's federal government that is doing it, or state government that is doing it, or local government that is doing it. What we want to see is visibility of service. We want to see that this so much trumped dividends of democracy, that we see it. We are tired of excuses. What we want a result. Anybody can give reasons why certain things should be done. Because if state government begin to say that it's a federal government and every time your people are dying there on a daily basis, then why are you there as a government if you cannot protect the lives of your and properties of your people?
All right, still going back to my question. Many people have said we have a lot of abandoned projects. Governments come and government will go, and then the new government comes in and then abandon the projects. Mean that the current last government started, and then we ask the question: is government not a continuum? As a matter of fact, Dave Umahi is not the minister for works when that Ogumosho road was awarded, but he has to come and say something about that road because that's his office. What's with government in Nigeria abandoning projects, and then since it's not our own, let's just leave it alone, and then let's start some new projects when we still have some ones going on?
These are the kind of things that I expect our National Assembly to make pronouncements on, so that they come up with bills that will be debated and signed into laws, so that abandoned projects will not become a criminal thing to do. There is a whole lot of white elephant projects all over the country, not just on roads, so many airports, so many hospitals. I don't know whether you have traveled on the Ikire-Ibadan road. There is one general hospital that they are building, in Ikire there, that has been there for almost 50 years. It's overgrown by bushes now, And there are so many of such projects all over the country. I think it is irresponsible of the people in government to allow this kind of culture of profligacy to continue, especially now that we said that we do not have our economy is on a downward trend. So let us only embark on roads and on projects that we know that we can actually complete. And that's why I was saying that this coastal road that we are talking about, is it sensible for government to award the contract to just one construction company, considering that the legal tenure of this particular present government is 4 years, and they have used about 1.5 of those 4 years? Will these people be able to deliver that road in 4 years? Because if they don't, and for any reason or the other, things turn around and there is another government is in power, in another party, they might not say that. They might say that coastal road is not their priority, and you can imagine the trillions of naira that will have gone down the drain.
All right, not just about the trillions of naira going down the drain. It's about people's properties that were demolished, even in the process of trying to construct this road. And then people not being compensated, some were compensated, but then they are still complaining about it. It's just a sad one there. It brings me back to my next question. Like you made mention earlier, state government should fix roads. We don't want to know if it's a federal road or a state government road. We've stopped the issue of tolls on our roads. Can't we bring them back? Let the government make money from the roads they've contributed. They've constructed, rather.
This monster called corruption. I remember very, very well a time when the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road was tolled. The staff from the Ministry of Works at that time that were sent to be selling tickets, some of these young boys, they had school certificate and all of that. They built houses, they built mansions, they bought cars. And there are senior ones that are civil servants in level 10, 11, 12 and the rest of it. They were just pushing files in the offices. So there's nothing wrong in tooling, but the important thing is that how do we block this loophole so that some people will not print tickets for themselves and then print tickets for government. And you have a situation in which they will sell, if they have 5 packs per day, they make sure that they sell 3 packs for themselves and 2 for government. You know, and let me tell you, there is no way these people could have been able to carry on this thing without the support of their Oga at the top. So it is this monster of corruption, and that's why I've said that policy formulation is not a problem in Nigeria, but how we actualize those policies, that is where the problem lies.
Interesting one there. That's all we'll be able to take on the show this morning. Professor Wale Akiyemi, thank you very much for coming on the show this morning.
The pleasure is mine.
Your parting shot very quickly before we leave the show this morning.
The people of Rivers State, if you have an opportunity to have an election today, try and demonstrate to government that you are very peaceful people, that you are not violent people. If the election is conducted in a very, very peaceful way, government will have no choice but to validate the election.
All right, people of Rivers State, if you are listening, Professor Wale Akiyemi is saying conduct yourself in a peaceful manner and make sure that the electioneering process goes peacefully this day as we speak. Okay. All right. On that note, we'll be saying our goodbyes on the show this morning. And I will always say every time, governance is a collective responsibility. It's not just about the president. It's not just about the governor or the senators alone. It's about all of us bringing all hands on deck and making sure that we get things done as soon as possible. So play your role. Let me play my role. And let's make sure that we drive this nation forward. No matter what, nothing should break us down. All right, on that note, my name is Oluwatayo Ajiwole, and I'm signing out this morning to join you again on Monday morning by 7 a.m. on the program Newslands. And until that time, enjoy the rest of your day and have a wonderful weekend.